As the Walt Disney Company talks about turbocharging their parks, it sounds like they're shutting down large sections of Disneyland in order to do updates. What's more, Haunted Mansion was not expected to return until 2025. Well, there's a new rumor that says we might be seeing it sooner than you think with a very unpopular system. Let's talk about that on That Park Place. Hello, I am Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, and here with me are two of my compatriots, my confidants, my fellow conspirators, Mr. VashSky and Culture Casino. Guys, you want to talk about Disneyland today?
Yes.
Well, I guess.
There's no turning back now.
Let's do it.
Oh man, that is that Sebastian Cabot that does that? It's so good. No, it's Paul Frees on the Haunted Mansion.
Of course.
I did hear a Sebastian Cabot take on the Haunted Mansion once. I'll see if I can find that audio and send it to you. This from Scott Guston, who I believe is taking it from the Disney website. New Disneyland shared updates to construction in New Orleans Square and Critter Country. Actually, Vash, do you want to take this away from me here? You know this park better, so maybe you can take it from me here in a moment. July 8th, Hungry Bear Restaurant is going to close for a refurbishment. Davy Crockett's Explorer Canoes will temporarily close, and the bridge from New Orleans Square to Galaxy's Edge will also temporarily close. We're seeing a lot of closures here. Vash?
So we have been hearing, at least around the grapevine here, that there have been a lot of code issues with a lot of sections of Disneyland. And Culture, I think you can speak to this as well. This park dates back to the 1950s, and it's always been kind of an ongoing process to get a lot of this original 50s era, 60s era infrastructure up to code. Isn't that right?
Oh yeah, that's actually been as they redevelop different parts of the park and all that, they retroactively go back, they upgrade the infrastructure, they make things compliant with modern coding and everything else. So it's not uncommon for this to happen. So they need it actually in a lot of cases.
Absolutely. So when we're seeing here is that they're going to be closing off large sections of this park, and it's honestly already closed. I mean, the whole west side is basically a ghost town outside of sections of Galaxy's Edge and right up alongside Pirates of the Caribbean. But beyond that, I mean, it really has suffered from the closures of, well, obviously Splash Mountain to be reimagined into Tafidi's, Tiana's Bayou Adventure and Haunted Mansion and stuff like that. So a lot of people were like, well, you might as well take the time to really do this right. Apparently, when they were digging in order to make that transformation into Tiana's Bayou Adventure, they found that not just inside of the attraction, but the areas around there that support a lot of the infrastructure that takes place in the attraction was out of code. And so when you hear like the bridge that connects New Orleans Square to Critter Country and Galaxy's Edge closing down, that's not a small thing at all. That is a major artery for that park, especially as Galaxy's Edge has opened. That is a significant piece of work right there. And again, this was consistent with what we were hearing before, that some of that stuff needed to be addressed, and it looks like they're actually doing that. When it comes to the Haunted Mansion, though, this is really interesting. So this is going to come from Theme Park Wizard's Patreon, which has generously allowed us to go run with this information right here. So we'll link to his Patreon in the description right there. And you should definitely check that out because Wizard's really on top of this. He really is. According to him, it says, according to sources, we now have info that Haunted Mansion Holiday is scheduled to reopen in July with a virtual queue. The official date is July 9th. On the refurb calendar, it still shows that Haunted Mansion and Winnie the Pooh have closed. However, Disney has been known to update their calendar after announcements. The entire project will not be done yet, which is why a virtual queue will be used. A small section of the queue will be completed mostly in the interior of the mansion. The front lawn, pet cemetery, and gates will all be open with queue stanchions running alongside those walls. It sounds to me that they want to get this attraction open because they know capacity might be an issue as the summer turns to fall and the fall turns to Christmas. Is that what it sounds like to you, Culture?
Yeah, I think so. And it seems like that makes the most amount of sense. And thank you for allowing us to use very generously your Patreon coverage there.
Which, by the way, is linked in the description down below.
Very good. Yeah. And no, I wish I could say this was rare, but it's not. And I don't think there's a lot of reason to panic.
Well, I think a lot of people were concerned that this attraction was going to be down for the entire year. And I think if you're looking at it from like the standpoint of the regular attraction, like the original Haunted Mansion, that I think seems to be the case if Haunted Mansion Holiday is coming back. But Haunted Mansion Holiday opening in the middle of July is a really interesting turn of events, because usually that only goes out till August. So getting it potentially July 9th is definitely upends the calendar that I had in my head.
Right, but it also, I think what it also does is it gets them out from underneath some other things that they have that are pressing. And they need to have something to throw guests at when they're disappointed by another attraction being reopened, reimagined. I don't know. I think they're going to need some overflow from the sadness, and then all of a sudden the lack of interest in something that may fall short. But no, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, and then I need to throw some more stuff in here because we did gloss over something by accidentally.
Sure. But there's also some other things going on there that need to be remedied as well. So there's some retrofitting that's being done in another attraction, and across the park, they're going to start working on some efforts that maybe we haven't talked about yet.
That's true. The thing that I didn't get to bring up before, obviously we're talking about this bridge here. The Haunted Mansion is still closed while they're doing the queue. The Disneyland Railway, due to the work between Gianna's Palace and Haunted Mansion, Disneyland Railroad Station in New Orleans Square is unavailable for boarding and unloading. Popcorn and churro carts may be temporarily relocated during this time. Look at all this for Critter Country.
But see, that foils so much snacking right there.
It's true. And they do have top quality churros. Well, we do like to talk about how Universal is on the up and up recently. The churros at Disney are top notch. Over there at Critter Country, they are saying Tiana's Bayou Adventure will open later this year, otherwise known as currently closed. Briar Patch is closed. Pooh Corner is closed because it's in Critter Country. Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh is closed. Hungry Bear is closed. David Crockett is going to close beginning July 8th. Critter Country Fruit Cart on July 8th. Here it is. Please note that due to ongoing construction, walkways in New Orleans Square and Critter Country are more impacted than usual. The nearest service animal relief area is along the pathway to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge under the elevated train tracks. Fantasmic, which is currently coming back in a B mode form, if not a C mode form, is first come, first serve, unless you have a dining package. The dining packages, if you want to go follow our coverage here, might be the reason why it came back at all before the Dragon came back. This is a lot of stuff closed all at one time. So,
and I would also suggest the other reason the Fantasmic came back is because there's a lot of things closed.
It's a very good point.
There's a lot of things.
Think about it. I mean, it has a capacity of what, 4,000, 6,000 per show? That makes up for that. Go ahead, Jonas.
Oh, no, it's a very good point. And it's supposed to be that Fantasmic is included in the price of the ticket. So when things are shut down, they don't remove that from the price of the ticket and give you a discount on everything that is not going on that day. They price the ticket as if the park is fully operational.
So this is a lot of dining capacity that is lost right here. I don't think that's no small issue. And this is partially why Rancho del Zocalo is servicing these dining packages at the moderate level rather than Hungry Bear, because Hungry Bear typically was that venue for that. Looks like they switched things up in relation to Fantasmic opening, knowing that that venue will probably close. The big thing here, though, is that with Fantasmic back, that is going to put up a lot of pressure on this area. So they need some relief. It looks like that might be coming in the form of Haunted Mansion.
And again, the dining capacity, most people don't understand exactly because of the decks. It's a multi-level service area for all the people that are going to try to eat in this area. Hungry Bear serves up a bunch of food. Zocalo's not as speedily. So I think there's going to be lots of pressure there. And there's really, unfortunately, there really isn't a lot there that's a reasonable cost. And if they're closing the churro cart by the Columbia, I'm going to rage because that thing, I'm going to tell you.
That's no good. I don't think that one's going to be affected, but who knows? I mean, I can see why people are maybe foregoing a visit this summer, because this is a lot that is closed right here. Haunted Mansion, Splash Mountain being some of the biggest attractions ever, but this area around there, ooh.
Well, that, and it's, I'm going to say this, it's going to be hot, Vash. It's summer.
It's, of course, Bob Iger's famous excuse when he was on CNBC. Why were the parks empty? Oh, because it's too hot. That's right. All right. Well, we want to throw this to our commenters here. If you are in the Southern California area, or if you're a Disneyland regular, does this change your opinion on whether or not you're going to go to the park? Are you excited to perhaps get into Haunted Mansion a little bit early? Maybe, perhaps. Let us know in the comment section down below. Of course, like this video if you like this video, and consider subscribing to That Park Plays for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.